What's going on, everybody? Welcome to schrishzen Thoughts. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to anybody new coming across this channel. Comments and feedback are always welcome, and if you like what you hear, feel free to subscribe. Shout out to my newest subscriber, Wilkins P. I can't pronounce the end part of your name, bro. It is what it is. But thank you for hopping on board. If I'm not mistaken, you are from the Job and Tears podcast. So if you're a wrestling fan, a pretty dope podcast to listen to. So I had shared a quote on my Instagram about how sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. There's the point of the quote I liked, because at this point in time, people are itching to get back to normal and itching for things to go back to the way they were prior to this whole shutdown, and concerned with, well, how long are we supposed to live like this? And it's like, well, obviously we can't live like this forever, but there are certain places where you just got to suck it up and deal with the fact that this is it for a while for us. New York, like, Trump just implemented his way of phasing back into normalcy, but this is on individual states to do. So states where somebody like Brandon Tatum is complaining about the doctors who are doing TikTok dances, or the people doing them in medical facilities when there's supposedly not enough ventilators, not enough this, places are packed, everybody's over. It's like, this may not be the case where you are. This may not be what it's like for you. You're in Arizona, you don't have it that bad, obviously. But you come somewhere like here, and I have a friend of mine who's ranting almost every other day about people being dumb, people not doing the right thing, people not listening, and it leading to more and more people coming in sick and dying from COVID. So here in New York, it's pretty serious. There are a couple other places where it's pretty serious, and there's places where it's lax. So to phase back into a normal thing, to me, makes the most sense, and to be done by state makes the most sense. Certain aspects, though, I don't know when it will go back to normal, if at all. If they're gonna say maybe once a vaccine comes into play, okay, cool. But things like sports, you cannot stick, even in a state that returns to or starts going back, like phasing in and like moves further ahead. There's certain things to me, like sports, where you're putting way too many people into one place, and then you can't really balance that out when you have people going from state to state to play. So you'd have to centralize all games in one particular location, but then everybody's got to stay in that location, because if you have them venturing out and going back to their state, where their state might not be free to venture out and go and do what you do, it's not going to work. So things like professional sports are going to take a hit in that area. That will be something that we may not for a while go back to normal on. It may be something where you're going back and we're going to be watching games fanless, which is going to be, I think, wild. There's been a couple games already, I think, played, I forget what sport, in front of no crowd. I know wrestling's in front of no crowd, which is weird to see. Weird to deem wrestling an essential service, but I'm not going into that. But yeah, we want things to go back to normal, but I don't think it's going to happen for a while. Restaurants and things like that, like, these are places where you're sharing things and close proximity, and a place like New York, like, you can't go into that anytime soon, which means a bunch of people are going to still be out of work. Looking it up now, this unemployment, additional 600 that's going out, it's like, cool, up to 4 months. This might last longer than that. So granted, I think they'll have to find a way to fish out money, because they find money for other things. So you find money for this too, to help keep bailing people out. But we're gonna have to, because things like the restaurant business are not going to go back to normal, I don't think, for a while. daycares might even be a little weird about reopening, but I think something like that you might work it out. But are you really going to be able to do school like regular again? I mean, you're going to eventually have to, but there's just so much that factors in. It's part of why I don't mind the Trump plan, because he's not a nuanced talker, so the basics of it seem to be step by step, meet these requirements to move on to the next step, and each step has to address a multitude of areas before you can clear, or before you can move ahead and go on, which, cool, that's how you gotta do it, that's how you gotta do it. I feel like that's the only way to do it, because you can't just, alright, cool, we dropped in cases, so now as of today everybody can go out and do what you do, because shit's lasting in people's systems for up to a month. Father-in-law, over 3 weeks now and still tested positive. Granted, when he got tested, he could have been positive and it might have been out of his system by the following day, but we don't know. A friend of mine just said that his boy just came back just tested negative after having it for 4 weeks. So, since we're still learning, we can't rush to, alright, we'll just go ahead and get back to normal. That is why, another reason why I like this phasing back in thing. Why? Because it's going to allow you to scale it back, and you may not be too far gone again after restarting. Maybe like, alright, we restart, and yeah, spiked again, F it. Go back to where we were. But for some of us, I do think we have to get comfortable. Sit down, relax, enjoy this for now, because it is what it is. Might have gotten on track, might have not. Oh well, it's a bit of a ramble one, I should say. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe. Adjust to this new norm. Masks, less touching, smaller gatherings. That's what we got to deal with for now. Maybe a good thing. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.